Happy Mother's Day from the Sugar Shine channel, or if you're a mother and it's just a day, well, there's that too. My roses are beautiful. I love them. Thank you. All right. With that said, I have something very disturbing to share with you. It was dropped an hour ago, and I will put the link in the description to the News Nation channel that has enlightened me, and now you, to the fact that New York City, oh, surprise. At first I thought it was California, but I was mistaken. I was wrong. It wasn't California. It's New York City. Oh, this has Soros written all over it. Oh, and you know what? I just have to say, nobody should be made homeless needlessly, especially, all the resources are being eaten up by these migrants. Illegal invaders. Let's just say it the way it is. They are not trying to start a civil war, are they? No, never. But, for real, this does hit a little too close to home. Nobody should be made homeless needlessly. But, it's okay. Whatever. All right, let's listen. Let's see what our government's doing to our combat veterans. Not just veterans. Combat veterans.
For more on this topic, we're bringing in New York Assemblyman Brian Marr, also a volunteer spokesperson with YIT. That's the nonprofit that is helping those displaced veterans. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me on this very important topic.
Yeah, help us understand what happened here. So when the buses arrived and the homeless veterans, they were forced to leave their temporary shelter at that time?
So a few days before the buses arrived, 3 Orange County hotels reached out to the veterans and said, hey, you have 1 day to vacate. 1 day. And mind you, these are 20 homeless veterans who are trying to reintegrate back into society, all combat.
Are you letting that sink in? Combat veterans being displaced so we can shack up people that aren't even here legally? Oh, asylum seekers. No, they're illegal invaders. I do not have a problem with proper immigration. I don't have a problem with that. I do have a problem with men and women that have put their lives on the line for this country so that we can have open borders just to let these invaders in. Call them what you will. But if they weren't invaders, they would do it the right way. This isn't even Mexico. It's the people coming through Mexico from all over the world for a better life. I need a better life. Where can I seek asylum? Who wants to put me up and pay for my hotel? Yeah, that's what I thought. It's in the air. Let's continue.
Veterans all served our country honorably, given 1 day to vacate. And like you said, it's been about the money. We wanted to shine a light on this because we don't want any other hotels to do what they've done to the...
I really wish they would have put the names of the hotels on here because I would like to put them on blast, and I hope they go out of business. They don't deserve another true and tried paying person to stay in them after turning away homeless veterans looking for a better life to rebuild what happened to them when they were in combat. Not just a veteran, but a combat veteran. I can't say that enough. That hurts me.
Patriotic Americans. It's very important to Sharon and her team. We've actually had a lot of threats and a lot of negative emails go on.
The only ones that should be getting threats and negative emails are those hotels and the very people negotiating the contracts to kick out our combat veterans. We are officially in a backwards society of hell. We're paying for people that are not taxpayers, that are up here invading our country, busing them and flying them wherever they want to go. Really? Immigrate the right way. Otherwise, I have absolutely there's no reason for any of this on so many levels.
Our way, because we've been kind of exposing this, but we can take it, and we hope that it really makes a meaningful difference.
The only thing that bothers me about this video, as you'll see at the end, he kind of cows down just a little bit. I don't blame the migrants. I do. You'll hear it at the end. It's like damage control at the end. Yeah, I'm going to show you what's going on, but we just want to make sure that, we look like we're not blaming the people. I blame the people. They know what they're doing. If we tried to invade any of their countries like this, we would be turned away or put in jail. You can't do this crap in Mexico. You cannot. We're inviting it in. This just stinks of Soros money. It reminds me of Excuse my voice, by the way. It reminds me of the time when we had all those riots in the different cities and the buses were bringing people there, and they were advertising on Craigslist. Oh, geez. Yeah, your tax dollars at work. I'm feeling real good right now. Let's go.
Because at the end of the day, these veterans have been through enough. And as much as we want to allow legal asylum seekers to have the freedom to come here and...
No, I really don't want to allow the asylum seekers anything. We can't take care of ourselves. We're too busy taking care of the Ukraine and everybody but our own. We have people in America that can't afford to pay rent, that are being kicked out needlessly, that are being forced to sleep in their cars needlessly, and we're giving away money to take care of people that have come to this country illegally. They're not asylum seekers, they're invaders.
State their case and be a part of our great country. It cannot come at the expense.
This dude is putting lipstick on a pig. It's good information, but stop being like an MSNBC and sucking it up, dude. Just say it the way it is. It's a crock of crap. They're kicking the veterans out. They're letting the migrants take the hotel rooms. In New York, it's everywhere. It's happening all over the place. Like I said, people are getting needlessly kicked out of a lot of places, and they have nowhere to go. Some people have cars to sleep in, and that's good. But I'm starting to think these veterans probably don't. They were probably sleeping on the street. It's sad. It's really sad. I'm going to shut up. Let's listen.
Of our veterans. It can't.
I appreciate that. And I want to talk about the threats in just a moment. Can I ask, where are the veterans now? How are they doing tonight? And what have they told you about what this experience has meant to them?
So I'll give you one example. We had an Afghanistan veteran who recently just got out of the military, Army, 8.5 years in. He was
Thank you for your service, sir.
there when we pulled out of Afghanistan. He was an interpreter, and he saw some things that are going to stay with him for the rest of his life. He had a situation with someone he was staying with that didn't work out, ended up in a shelter.
Yeah, staying with people and things don't work out and you end up in a shelter. If there is a shelter bed, but apparently they're all going to the migrants. Hopefully you have a car to live in. If you don't, well, all right.
And the shelters are who Sharon communicates with to identify these veterans. And what makes YIT and Sharon's team so unique and so special is that...
Can somebody tell me where the Americans can seek asylum and get treated, like, get hotel rooms and free food and free everything? Where are the Americans supposed to go now that we're being invaded? I need asylum. What country is going to take us? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Sharon is a combat disabled veteran herself, a Purple Heart recipient from the war of Iraq. And people connect with her. Other veterans connect with her. So to develop that trust, to develop that temporary assistance to get them in a hotel before we find them permanent housing and then job training and financial literacy, to break that trust in such a short period of time, it risks losing that connection to that veteran and potentially having something awful happen. Since then, all of the veterans have been placed into another hotel because Sharon...
Thank God. And I hope it's a better hotel. I really wish they would have named the hotels because I really would put them all on blast because they deserve it.
Her team acted quickly, so we're thankful for that. And what the community has done is write thank you cards, put together care packages, provided hot meals, and we've let these veterans know we appreciate them.
And that's beautiful, and that is the way it should be. And I hope these citizens that are doing this also remember that when they go to vote. Not that your vote matters, that's a whole nother story. Never mind, let's continue.
We are embarrassed by the irresponsibility of the federal government, the state of New York, the city of New York, and we want them to know that we have their backs.
Do you expect this to continue to happen? And has Mayor Adams given you any indication?
I've spoken to the mayor's office. His staff got back to me pretty quickly. They are completely overwhelmed. I do expect this situation to get worse before it gets better, but hopefully with your reporting and keeping people honest, hotels will think twice before they kick out. Not
exactly. Think twice before you kick out the veterans to bring in the illegal invaders.
Just our homeless veterans, but wedding parties and citizens of this state. And
Sorry, this is bringing out my inner Karen. I do apologize ahead of time, but this really ticked me off.
This country, they come first. As much as we care about making sure that these asylum seekers have the rights that they...
No, we really don't care about the asylum seekers. Really, honestly, as a border state person, send them back. They're invading our country. We do not have enough housing for the very people that live here. Housing is so over the top, if it's even available, nobody can afford it. Nobody can afford it. You're having to bunk up with 500 other people. And, you know, if you even have that, people are living in their cars. And I mean, it's not just the veterans here. It's like the whole country. And we're bringing in more people that we have nowhere to put. Oh, this is going to end great. By design.
Need, whether you agree with them being here or not, it can't come at the expense of New Yorkers and Americans all over the country.
No, it should not come at the expense of anybody. They should pay their own way. Immigrate the right way. No problem. Come in the way you're coming in. They're getting bus tickets and train tickets and plane tickets, and Americans are getting their benefits cut that are disabled, and people that really need housing can't get it. This is sad. This is not the country I grew up in.
You know, I want to talk a little bit about the backlash you mentioned that the foundation is receiving for helping these veterans. What kind of pushback are you seeing?
Here's the problem. You have the city of New York sending these asylum seekers, migrants, to areas where the county executives have said, we don't have enough information, we don't believe in your process, we don't believe this was communicated properly, we don't want them here. There are
the other places that want them, those are the places that probably give out licenses to illegals. And all you need to register to vote online is a driver's license number. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, I saw in some of the comment sections on the videos about like the border crossers illegally crossing. Oh, these are future voters. You better be nice to them. No. They need to go back to where they came from, because if we tried to do this in their country, we would be put in jail or deported immediately. This is not okay. If you're going to seek asylum, you go to the next available country from the one that you live in. Mexico they shouldn't be coming through Mexico. They should either go to Mexico if they touch Mexico, or the next country over from where they're at. No, these people are coming. These are not the Mexicans. The Mexicans are not the problem. This is an invasion from South America, Middle America, or Central America, and need I say, other countries that don't like us.
Communities and other counties who would have welcomed these asylum seekers here. So why was the issue forced, and why did they end up coming to this particular hotel in Orange County? The answer for me is just politics. What this has done is pit people against each other.
Those are the same white buses, I swear to God, that brought the rioters into the different cities during the last election, and Soros paid for it, and they had ads in the Craigslist asking people to, you know, be what was it? Crisis actors. Yeah, crisis actors.
Created an environment that really makes that animosity even worse. And
it doesn't help when you half-ass do a news story like News Nation, where you just kind of sugarcoat over the problem is, it's not just the government. It's the people that are participating on the other side, invading our country. The grass is not greener over here, kids. Oh, maybe it is for them, but obviously look what they just did to the combat veterans.
Just who aren't educated enough on what's going on in the process, they get angry. My daughter goes to school about 3 miles down the street from that hotel. And I'm not worried personally because...
Well, you probably should be. You probably should be.
I know our law enforcement has...
Why would you even put that information out there? You're putting out a Oh, this sounds like propaganda at its best. A little bit of truth with a whole lot of BS. I can't stand gaslighters. There seems to be a lot of them on YouTube and out in the air lately, in my personal life. But, we're not talking about me. Let's go.
The resources they need to protect us. But I don't blame other families for being nervous and getting anxious. And this all could have been avoided with better communication. It's been
That's right. A lot of things could have been avoided with better communication. It's not just New York.
completely irresponsible by the feds, by New York State, by the city of New York. And I'm willing to work with anybody, including the mayor's office, to make sure that we get this situation right moving forward.
And to be clear, and we're out of time, I apologize, but to be clear, who is at fault here? Do you blame the asylum seekers and the migrants themselves in all of this?
I do not. I don't blame the
I do.
asylum seekers. And I think the city of New York's actions to put these asylum seekers in Orange County after communicating improperly with our county executive was wrong. And it only serves to divide all of us even more.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, trying to cause a civil war. What do you think? It's looking pretty scary. Screwing with combat veterans. Highly suspicious.
Thank you for watching. Go to news.
Anyway, like I said, I will put the link in the description. I'm not quite happy with the end result here of kind of sugarcoating it at the end. A little bit of fact was put out, which needed to be done, but not enough for us to really do too much with, like, which hotels. Alrighty then, everybody stay blessed, and I hope you have a happy Mother's Day, and bye now.
Nation.